Driven by the desire for convenience, security, and efficiency in identity verification, the adoption of mobile driver's licenses, or mDLs, is rapidly growing. So, where are the different states and countries in the journey to implementing mobile IDs and licenses? How are mobile driver's licenses revolutionizing the user experience? We'll take a look at the user experience in both digital and physical environments. And what must organizations and their vendors do to be prepared for this revolution? I'm Morgan Petty, and I've been studying and implementing new privacy and security compliant customer, employee, and store technologies for over 10 years. Today, I'm joined with someone I've gotten to know well through my work, Jānis Plakanis, co-founder and CEO of Sehaci. They're a provider of identity verification solutions for businesses. Sehaci leverages mobile driver's license technology to streamline and secure that customer identification process.
Pleasure to be here and happy to share.
So let's consider where we're seeing this today. Retail purchase of age-restricted products in store, for example. In California, some convenience stores are accepting digital IDs for purchasing age-restricted items. Within the California DMV wallet, users can enroll for age-verified product purchases. A QR code is generated within the wallet that is then scanned in physical retail environments to safely and securely verify age while protecting privacy. The system only looks at what is needed to verify age. That's license number, issuing state, expiration date, and birthday. An encrypted ID token ensures that the purchase cannot be tracked or tied to any individual's name. We now see tap to verify your identity experiences coming to life at airport security checkpoints. The TSA accepts digital IDs, including mDLs, at select security checkpoints. This allows travelers to use their mDL stored in wallets like Apple Wallet or Google Wallet. Today, they're using Cat2 technology. Facial recognition technology is used to verify the identity by comparing a photo on a physical or real ID with a live photo taken at the checkpoint. Of course, TSA conducted privacy impact assessments regarding the use of mobile driver's licenses and facial recognition. You may have seen a notice that facial recognition data is deleted after your ID is verified. This is necessary today since the facial image is compared to the image on your physical ID. Once mDLs and tap to verify experiences are widely adopted, the facial image capture and facial recognition process could be completed solely on the user's mobile device. I would really like to illustrate what that customer experience or customer journey really looks like here. So Sehaci provides solutions for in-app facilitation of identity verification. And again, this is founded on that mDL technology. So Jānis, I'm going to turn it over to you. Can you show us a few use cases here, a few examples?
So I will show 3 use cases. So one use case is very straightforward. It's age verification. For example, a person wants to buy some age-restricted items in the online store or needs to verify age in any other kind of situation online. So before the checkout, the mobile app is requesting to verify age, and if a person has their mDL on this case on their Apple Wallet, so there's an option to verify age with Apple Wallet. So we're just clicking the button verify age, and then the pop-up screen shows up. This screen is showing what data elements from the mDL is being shared with the service provider or the merchant. And this is one of the good features. So it's a privacy preserving, yes, and it allows selective disclosure. So not all mDL is should be shared with the merchant. In this case, it's only the fact that the person is over 21 and is allowed to buy a bottle of wine. So when we are confirming that with the Face ID or fingerprint, whatever is on the smartphone, and then it's been verified, and that's it. Then user can now proceed with the payment. Another use case would be also typical for car sharing or ride sharing mobile apps. Yes, when the person is choosing a car to rent. So again, the mobile app is requesting to verify identity, and in this case, it's not just verifying identity, but also checking if the driving privileges are in place and if the driver's license is not suspended, for example. And again, here in this case, you can see that on the pop-up screen, you can see more data fields are necessary because it's more complex use case. So it's besides the age of the person, which is maybe not important in this case. So we need to know the is the driver's license not expired and some other information. But the procedure from end user's perspective is the same. So it's confirmed with the biometrics and we're good to go and have our car. And the third use case, so this is an example of financial institution of a digital bank, but it can be used in any kind of mobile app where a person needs to onboard and fill some forms. And instead of manually typing name, last name, or whatever data is necessary, so again, we can pre-populate this data from our mDL, which is stored on a smartphone. So again, we click verify our identity. Then the service provider, before installing this feature on their app, has set specific data fields that are necessary from their customer. And after confirming identity, all the data fields are pre-filled. And here you can see. And for the service provider, for the merchant, it's guaranteed. It's actually valid state-issued data from the state-issued ID. It's not something that the person has created just now. And yeah, so it's fast and easy. It can be done in financial institutions also as a step-up verification for some high-value transactions and so on.
On average, how long does it take to implement this?
Count on around 1 month. So it takes around 1 week to get registered in the Apple or Samsung or Google merchant register. Each of them have this specific register after which is this functionality is enabled. So they know who is on the other side and who is actually using this service. So it's their requirement. And then it takes like 2 to 3 weeks to get this integration on in the mobile app. So if it's not very, very urgent, so 1 month should be enough. So in extreme cases, so it can be theoretically done even faster, but I would recommend to count on 1 month.
What are some things that a merchant or their software mobile app vendors may need to consider before or through implementation?
One of the great features of this mobile driver's license is the selective disclosure. So the merchant has to understand what data they actually need to store. So nowadays we hear a lot about privacy and consumer private information. So we have to be very careful with that, and specifically during the integration, so the merchant should choose what kind of data they need to store and for how long they need to store. So it's a complex topic, and these requirements, they are different from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, and also from industries they differ. Yes, and this is something that the companies need to take into consideration. Of course, it is during the process it is possible to change it and to configure as needed, but in general, this is one of the things they need to consider. It's important to consider that I mentioned that it's a work in progress situation currently, specifically with the online verification, and there are some limitations. For example, verification in the web browser is not available except these specific state-specific apps in some states, yes, but generally it's coming. So the situation is changing, and some more advanced features are available. So it's companies need to consider that, but that's why we are here and we are helping with that.
When using mDLs within digital wallets, facial recognition is used at the customer's mobile device level to verify that that user is indeed the person reflected by the mobile ID. How does this and other built-in benefits protect customers and merchants from a privacy and data security perspective?
Indeed, this is one of the things that always everyone talks about, and it's important. It's very important, and there are two things. One is related to security. Yes, the mDLs, they are stored on a secure element of the smartphone's device. It's pretty much similar technology like for payment cards, but it means that it's like binded to the device, so you cannot put your same ID on another device. You have to apply for new ideas. Maybe it will be similar, but there will be different keys. And that means also that it's bind to biometrics. So it's not possible to access it without biometrics, the Face ID or the fingerprint. Yes, it means that even if another person has one person's smartphone, so they cannot access it. And even, for example, in the case if the mobile driver's license is stored on the smartphone, and after that the Face ID is changed, yes, so the person will need to reapply for the driver's license. It's not possible to access it. And this is a great security feature, so which allows not to misuse this mDL. And from the privacy perspective, in my opinion, the most important thing, which is a big step forward compared to previous generations of IDs, is this selective disclosure. Yes. So compared to physical IDs, you physical ID you always hand over to, I don't know, policeman or the bar verifying your age, so that all the information was there, so it's available to the other person who is checking this ID. But here in this case, so you need to present only the data that is actually required, and you always know which data fields are you sharing with the service provider. And for example, if you think that something is too much, you can always reject and not share that.
Many US states have or are exploring the implementation of digital IDs. Many other countries have already implemented mobile driver's licenses. And by the end of 2030, the EU plans to introduce a uniform digital mobile driver's license that is accessible through a digital wallet, with physical licenses remaining available at request. Some states in Australia have implemented digital driver's licenses, but there are concerns about security and compliance with international standards. Looking specifically at US implementation of mDLs, some states have a dedicated application, others are integrated into Apple, Google, and or Samsung Wallet. So, Jānis, is further standardization and consistency necessary for seamless implementation of these customer identification processes?
Yes, this ISO standard, ISO 18013-5, it's one part of the standard which describes in-person verification of mobile driver's license. It's when the person has it on their smartphone and goes to presents the ID in the store or to law enforcement officer. Or this standard is established and it's mature and it's working in all the states which have mDLs, so it's available and it's good to go. Then the other part of ISO standard, which is 18013-7, this describes online verification. And that part, first version has been published by late 2024, and some updates are expected in that standard, and so it will change a little bit. So this online verification is kind of in progress state. So this -7 part of standard, it's available only in some specific states. For example, in California or Alaska, so they are allowing online verification with QR codes, but other states are still in the process. Nevertheless, so all the OEM wallets like Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, or Samsung Wallet, so they have created sort of their own interpretation of -5 standard, meaning that they are using -5 standard and building on top of that functionality so that this online verification can happen. And they work pretty well and they are stable. So for merchants and companies that want to accept their mobile driver's license from their clients, so online verification is available. It's in mobile apps, but it works and it's very good, and it's changes the user experience. The customer experience is like it's on another level. It's not how we used to receive the services. So in the US, as you mentioned, Morgan, already, so in the United States, so there are several states already offering a mobile driver's license. I can share my screen and show what is the availability in different states. Yeah, you see that here in this chart. So this is a summary of which states offer what platforms for mobile driver's license. So there are 4 options. Some states offer their own standalone mobile app, so where people can store their mobile driver's license, the digital IDs, and also it's available in general in Apple Wallet for iOS users, in Google Wallet or Samsung Wallet for Android users. And depending on states, so some of these platforms are available. So some of the states, like for example Arizona, so they are one of the first to introduce mDLs for their residents, so all the platforms are available there. But some of the states, for example Alaska is the latest one, so they have it only on standalone, this specific state app. But this is a work in progress situation. So new states join every month, and if not new states, so more platforms are available in different states. So this is progressing, and probably after 1 month, so there will be more states joining there.
I love seeing the innovation, the rate of adoption by states. So let's look at other countries, though. So many other countries have also introduced various types of digital IDs and driver's license. The recent developments of ISO standards is a big step towards global interoperable digital documents. Many other countries are planning to follow ISO-based standards. This also includes 27 plus EU and EEZ countries, UK, Canada, Australia, Japan, and many others.
Yes, exactly. So, for example, in Europe, so it's more than 10 years, different kind of digital IDs are available, but the problem is that every country has something specific and they are not actually interoperable. So currently with the new ISO standard, ISO 18013, there is a plan that it will be interoperable not only in the Europe but also globally. So European Union with 27 countries and some neighboring countries as well. So it's more than 27 actually are introducing digital IDs with the same standard. So there's EIDAS 2 framework, which all the countries have to follow and have to offer European Union digital identity wallet by end of 26 for all EU residents. And besides Europe, also it's Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Japan. They are also following this trend and planning to implement IDs with based on the same ISO standard. So we hope that in some further future, maybe it will be globally interoperable.
We don't want to miss this, though. I remember working for the media company that owned mobilepaymentstoday.com, and I felt like adoption of mobile payments was very slow, especially here in the US. Tap to pay experiences, it took a while for those to catch on. But now that that has caught on, I'm excited to see how tap to identify is going to flow. And then also the other opportunities. Janice, can you talk a little bit about what's going on with, pharmaceuticals, with prescriptions and degrees, and how other people are going to use their mobile device, or how those are going to be stored on mobile devices?
Absolutely, yes. In the US, it's also definitely will come. The Europe, in that sense, maybe is a half a step forward, because the EIDAS 2 framework, which I mentioned in the beginning of our discussion, so it foresees the common wallet for the whole European Union, and it's not only for IDs, it's specifically for various kind of document that you can imagine can be signed and used elsewhere. As you mentioned, the education documents, medical prescriptions, maybe your car's technical passport or your some insurance documents that you can issue. They can be issued in one country, but you can use them easily through your wallet in another country, in the other part of the Europe. So, and we hope that in the future, so it will be possible not only within the Europe, but also between Europe and the US, and definitely among the US different states, it will be even a lot easier, and I'm sure it's coming. And there are actually some of the states. For example, in California, there are some ideas to allow it, and also I think that if I'm not wrong, it was state of Louisiana. They are offering also some other services in their specific app. So it's exciting time ahead, and for end users and then clients, it's a game-changing experience.
I work with teams throughout the end-to-end digital product development lifecycle. If you're interested in creating a seamless journey for identity verification in store, message me, Morgan Petty, on LinkedIn. I also work with a team that designs, engineers, and produces self-service customer and employee engagement hardware. So if you're looking to create a secure, fully compliant ID verification experience in those unattended settings, we can engineer customer-facing solutions to meet the journey needs I'm happy to address some of the hardware components that we're seeing integrated to facilitate that mDL acceptance. And then, if you're interested in leveraging Sehaci technology to improve the ID verification process in-app, Jānis is your guy. How can you best be reached, Jānis?
Reach out to us through our website. We have a specific contact form. You can find us there. Also, LinkedIn. We are quite active there. You can search Sehaci and our company is there. You will always find it. Or you can reach out in LinkedIn directly to me.